shouldn't do this, but it does it. You're fine now. I don't know why it does that.
But now I can hear me, and I don't like that.
I'll go back to what you did in advance then.
Off?
Yep.
Hello? Can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
Because I can still hear me, and I hate it. Cool, bitch. Hi! I'm quiet. Bean! Thank you for subbing, Brother Bean. I'm glad y'all can hear me. I hate that I can hear me. I really, really do. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Are you good now?
I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. Where's my sound? Where's my music? Where's my music? Where's my sound? Where's my music? Where's my sound? Hi, y'all. I don't know what the fuck's going on right now. This never happens.
Yeah, I haven't messed with anything that would do things.
I know. It's okay. I don't care. Go ahead. You're dismissed, Bobbies. Because I get nervous when there's hovering.
Sure.
I think I fixed it, bitch. Do y'all hear music now? That ire wasn't directed at y'all. It was directed at the situation. Do you hear the music now, people?
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Will that be dine in or carry out, bitch? Hi, guys. Now my face is hot because I'm fucking stressed. We just got started. Shout out to my gummy worm earrings. Someone peeped them. I wore these to go get lunch today at Dunkin' Donuts, and they complimented me on them and asked me about them. They asked me if they were real. I said no. I know, Pickle. I love that for us. It keeps me on my fucking toes, I'll tell you that for damn.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down! No!
Us, every time. That's Pidge and I. I'm Dwight. Pidge is Michael Scott. And we're running around like headless chickens trying to figure this shit out. Hi, y'all. We made it. We're here. It's fine. I hope you're having a beautiful time zone wherever thou may art. I had Chipotle for dinner, and I'm full as fuck. And I had Chipotle for lunch yesterday. And, you know, 28 hours later, I ordered the exact same meal. Why am I like this? Just kidding. I know that answer. Consistency, yeah, listen, it's hard to undercook or overcook tofu.
Right.
Like, Chipotle's tofu, their sofritas, is so fucking good. Sofrita fucking good. But yeah, today's one of those days, you know, spoonless. Just been working on merch and stuff. I am incorporating my watercolor art into my merch. So I'm making an entire line of like drinkware with my paintings on them. Some of them are wrapped around. Some of them are front way on the front and backwards on the back. I've just been having an outrageous amount of fun doing that today. And the site's been working, so it's like I actually get to make progress on my merch instead of trying to, you know, make one thing 7 different times. The universe out here praying for my downfall every day. But that's okay. I'm not falling anytime soon. Unless I trip or something, I don't know. But anyway, y'all, we're here. It's Saturday or whatever. It's Pidge's birthday weekend, by the way.
Hello, it's my birthday on Monday.
He's about to turn 31. Yeah. Abnormally long applause. That's like the longest applause I've ever seen. And by seen, I mean heard. So yeah, we had our dinner last night. Our birthday dinner for Pidge. I ordered pad thai that was like I'm convinced that's what is in the Pulp Fiction suitcase. Like, when I opened that shit, I gasped out loud. I've never had pad thai before, mind you.
Right.
I ordered it on a whim, and it was the holy grail, and it was, oh, bitch. When I tell you how amazing it was, I can't tell you how amazing it was. It changed my life in a little bit of a way. Also, someone said that it looked greasy, and it looked like, it didn't look greasy to me. It looked like, because it wasn't greasy. Like, I've had lo mein before, and the lo mein I had was like really, really greasy. But I don't know. I don't fucking cook pad thai, so I don't know what goes into it except magic and goodness. And finely chopped peanuts.
Yeah, fucking food processed.
Yeah, I split it with Pidge. But yeah, y'all, I literally didn't know what to do on stream tonight until like fucking 5 p.m. It was just one of those days. Brain really not braining all that much. You know, kind of working with scraps here a little bit. So I got up and scoured the bookshelf. I'm like, what fucking other books? Because I don't know about y'all. Raise your hand if you're with us. How many of you out there love the idea and love the act of buying books, but reading them?
Who does that?
Not so much. Not so much on the reading part. Like, I always buy them faster than I read them. I haven't read for fun in over a fucking decade, probably. Yes, we're here. Raise your hands loud and fucking proud, people. So, I bought this book 2 years ago on Amazon because I think it was when I bought my book made of razor blades, The Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents, and it was like, you might also like. And I was like, you know what? Sure, I'm a people-pleasing ass bitch. Let's throw it in there for $9-10, however much it was. Never got past the first few pages. And I was racking my brain today as to why I put it down. And I kind of misinterpreted, the interpretation that I had on something made me feel like it was ableist. But I was still very, new into my neurodivergent discovery journey. So I didn't really understand some of the nuances that happen and the importance of intent and perception as far as being perceived as rude or whatever. We'll get into all that, but I remember that that's the reason why at the time I was like, that's ableist as fuck. Put it in the fucking thing. And if you take that's one part how I took it initially, yes, of course it does sound ableist, but reading around it and getting the context matters. So it's really not that big of a deal. I promise it's nothing like a scandalo, but I'm just fucking, this is just the prologue. Does prologue come first and then it's epilogue, or do I have that backwards?
Prologue, epilogue at the end.
Okay, what? There are so many words that I never ever remember the definition to, and I have to look them up every single time. Another one of those words for me is, or pair of words is conspicuous versus inconspicuous. I never fucking remember. But yeah, so I kind of just want to get right the fuck into this a little bit. No need to really beat around the bush, so to speak. Yes, y'all feel me on the unread books. Hi, Whiskey. I didn't see you come in, if that's your first message. Kelzion, it's honestly so hard to say no, but also not gonna lie, as an Australian, the no vote has me so depressed right now, so I hate the word no at this exact moment. I feel you. I wish I knew more about what you were talking about. I really have to temper my intake of new information lately, these past few days, because, you know, what's happening in the world right now is so devastating and so important, and it's everywhere you turn, people are talking about it. And I've deliberately chosen not to post about it or talk about it on my page because I can't add any sort of viewpoint or contribution as a white American woman that can't be added by people who actually live that life. People who are actually in such marginalized situations that they can explain the nuance perfectly. So I've instead been sharing those posts like on TikTok and whatnot, but I want this stream to be a place to kind of escape from all that for a couple of hours, you know, even though we're talking about, like, it's not like we're fucking playing tic-tac-toe over here. Like, we're over here doing like inner work, inner child work, shadow work, you know, reparenting ourselves, learning boundaries and shit, talking about neurodivergence. Like, it's still work what we're doing, but like it's also like a support group. Like, I call this group catharsis. So this book is rather small. So depending on like how well this goes tonight, if y'all are feeling it or not, if I'm feeling it or not, we might be able to do the whole book on stream, you know, over a few streams. So yes, this is The Art of Saying No, How to Stand Your Ground, Reclaim Your Time, Reclaiming My Time and Energy, and Refuse to be Taken for Granted Without Feeling Guilty, by Damon Zahariadis. And I apologize if I butchered that. I should have looked it up beforehand. I apologize. And listen, y'all gonna have to help me with the hydration, okay? Because my hydration game was trash on last stream. And I didn't notice until I was done streaming. And I was like, water!
I'm so bad about it myself that I'm like, I'm not thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord. Also, just like full disclosure, right? Because that's what we're all about here. My hair's a fucking... Don't look at it. I don't have hair tonight. I have had this dully aching pain, like extremely dull, like maybe 2 out of 10, in my right side, like mid abdominal, so not low, so not like my appendix, I think, and not high, so like not gas. Literally for years at this point. I had it fucking looked at in like 2019. I had an x-ray or whatever it was called, acronym, scan, whatever, and they said that they saw something there that was like just teeny little tiny. And then in X amount of months I went back for a scan, and then they're like, that spot's not like there at all now. It must have been a smudge on the scan. And then nothing else was said of it. So I'm like, okay, cool, word. So for the past 4 years at random times, it will just start like flaring up again. And I notice it happens a lot after I eat. I just kind of am paying attention to it. But today it's been nagging me all day, just like a little bit all day. And I'm full of food and I'm trying to stretch out, but I scrunch up in this little corner over here like the gargoyle potato goblin that I am. So if you see me just go, ugh, that's my side. I don't know what it is. Am I scared? I'm not scared. I'm not paying attention. I'm not scared, but unless a bone's sticking out or I'm gushing blood, I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Not in this economy. All right. Gallbladder, probably. Oh God. It's nothing until I know more. That's how I'm treating it, because I have to. Okay. Let's just go ahead and fucking pop this shit open. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff in the beginning here, just, you know, other books he's talking about. Let's get through all that shit there. Okay. Okay, let's skip that. All right. I don't know how many parts this book has or anything. I'm reading it with like a fresh set of eyeballs. Like I'm established and like I stand firmly and proudly in my like neurodivergence and in the work that I've been doing to unlearn all this people pleasing and unlearn all these trauma responses due to a lifetime of masking my autistic traits. So, also my fucking brain is made of Swiss cheese, as we know. That's been hole punched 1,800 times. So it's very much like I'm reading it for the first time. That's by far my favorite part about having ADHD is I can watch an entire season of a show, and then a couple years later, I can watch that same season and only remember about 10% of it. So it feels like the first time, but every time. Okay. This is The Art of Saying No by Damon Zahariadis. Sorry, I was trying to read it from the camera, but it was doing a glare, and I'm like, bitch, just fucking look at it. Okay. Let's get into it, shall we? Part 1, the people-pleasing habit. Think of a friend or acquaintance whom you'd consider to be a typical people-pleaser. This individual is probably one of the nicest people you know. He or she is always ready to lend a hand. You can count on them to help you whenever the need arises. And this person will gladly abandon their personal pursuits to cater to your wants and needs. Does this behavior sound disturbingly familiar to you in a personal way? Do you notice aspects of it in yourself? For example, when someone requests your help, do you immediately set aside whatever you're working on and say, sure? For 28 years, I sure the fuck did. Run myself ragged. For whomst? For what? For what? And here's the bigger issue. Do you regularly feel unhappy, stressed, and exhausted as a result of constantly putting other people's priorities ahead of your own? If so, this book is for you. Saying no to people is one of the most important skills you can develop. It frees you to pursue your own interests, both personal and professional. To that end, it'll boost your productivity, improve your relationships, and fill you with a sense of confident calm that may seem alien to you at this moment. The ability to say no is liberating, but developing the skill is often difficult, as I have come to learn. I mean, my God. For decades, it wasn't an option. It wasn't just that I felt uncomfortable. It's that I had no fucking choice. There's a difference. For most of us, saying no requires undoing years of practice to the contrary. For some of us, learning to say no counteracts a lifetime of indoctrination from our parents, teachers, bosses, co-workers, and family members. But it's worth the effort. Once you possess the ability to say no with confidence and grace, and do so with regularity, you'll notice changes in how others perceive you. They'll have more respect for you. They'll place a greater value on your time, and they'll come to see you as a leader rather than a follower. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Some of the end of these chapters reads like an ad or something, like unnecessary cliffhangers. I'm not shitting on the author. It just made me chuckle. Interested to know more? Are you finally ready to curb your inclination to please people by saying yes all the time? If so, let me describe my personal experience with being an unabashed people pleaser. These chapters are nice and short too. My past life as a people pleaser. I'm a recovering people pleaser. If you'd known me in my high school and college days, you needn't have ever wanted for help. I was there for you. All you had to do was ask. God damn. Yup. I'm making up for lost time, bitch. I'd happily sacrifice my own pursuits to help you pursue your own. This tendency to say yes, regardless of my personal circumstances, was born of several factors. We'll cover them in part 2. For now, it's enough to say that I was the quintessential people pleaser, and I was miserable. Every time I said yes to someone, it felt like I was doing the right thing. I was making the other person happy. So how could such a decision be regrettable? But a little voice would always opine that saying yes to others was, in effect, saying no to myself. My God, I didn't even have that fucking concrete realization until a handful of years ago. That, like, I didn't even consider the fact that I was telling myself no. I didn't even consider what I was telling myself. I didn't consider myself at all. Damn. Excuse. The time given would no longer be available to spend toward my own pursuits. The money given would no longer be available to finance my own needs and interests. I promise I'm not bored. I don't know what this is. And sure enough, I allowed others to use my time, money, and even my labor toward their interest, while my interests were placed on the back burner. For example, I owned a pickup truck while attending college. That made me that made me a prime candidate for helping my friends move. I wasn't that person, but we all knew that person, and I always felt bad for them because they had the truck of the friend group. Help my friends move, and as you might expect, I was regularly asked to do so. Being a die-hard people pleaser, I was quick to say yes, but it was always in opposition to the small voice in my head berating me for putting my own interests and priorities on hold. Worse, this voice was persistent, and it slowly caused me to become resentful of myself as well as the people who routinely requested my help. It was a downward spiral. That resentment is so real. And the fact that it's largely self-inflicted, like, in some cases, people genuinely just, like, want help and don't take advantage of you, like, being prone to saying yes. Like, they really just need help and they would want you to help them. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people who know that you'll always say yes for any and everything, and they use that to their fucking advantage and to your detriment. I'm talking about those people here. I've been guilted into saying yes. Like, I remember times where I, like, tried to say no, but even then it wouldn't be me saying no. It would be me panicking in my head, flipping through the Rolodex of reasons to try to find one that they'll buy. Like, I'm sorry, I have homework. I'm sorry, I have rehearsal. I'm sorry, my fucking goldfish is sick. Like, just the contortion that my brain would do to try to find a valid excuse because I didn't feel safe to say no in some cases. And in some cases, when I did try to say no, like, sorry, I can't do that this time, or I'm busy or something. Oh, well, it'll only take a second. Oh, come on. What? Oh, come on. Remember, you owe me. Like, you know, just every excuse I can possibly think of has been dangled in my face. Every guilt trip. Let's see. Each time I was asked to do something for someone, I said yes in spite of myself. So ingrained was the habit of catering to others, but with each acquiescence, a feeling of discontent grew inside me, setting the stage for bitterness and despair. Time and again, I sacrificed my own interests to help others, knowing that doing so was making me increasingly unhappy. I had no one to blame but myself. Telling my friends I can't go out with them for the 40th time that week without just telling them I don't want to go out. Yes, and part of being, like, late discovered autistic for me, like, I didn't have the words then that I do now for so many things, but I also didn't realize that no is a fine answer. No is sufficient. Whether it's sufficient for someone or whether they don't take that no as a no is not your problem. And I wish that more people knew that, and because it's that pushback that you get and at various degrees that stops you from saying no because you remember all the trouble that it caused you, right? No is a complete sentence, damn it. It is. It's hard to say no to some people. For example, my mom will get angry and hold things over me, like money, support, etc. Yup. If I say no to anything she asks me for, she does that. So I feel like that feeling travels over to everyone else in my life, yes, because I'm scared of getting that reaction from them. Yes. Especially if it's a reaction that you've been getting from the same person your whole life. Like, if that's all that you know, then you don't know how it feels to chew 5 gum. You don't know how it feels to like set a gentle boundary with someone and have them respect that boundary because your boundaries are not respected at all. Whiskey, are you serious? Whiskey DoorDashed and their delivery driver's name is Tatum. What the fuck? What the hell? I'm supposed to be the only one. How rude. Just kidding. Well, I hope that they provide 5-star service in honor of all Tatums everywhere. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Plus, I'm a little stoned, bitch. Okay, listen. When the brain's not braining, I kind of just have to let it roll. And if that means sometimes I gotta smoke a little extra Lucifer's lettuce to get through the day, then that's just what that means, okay? No judgies. As we talked about on our last stream, no judgies for smokesies. Cigarettes, weed, cloves, turkey, what have you. No judgies. But that means that my brain is not here right now with us. Is not in the room with us. Okay, bitch. Satan salad. Yeah, I had a pre-rolled joint full of Satan salad that almost choked me to death this summer. So that sucks. Buttsbot, you've got to stop boofing cigarettes, man. I don't know what to tell you. That's not healthy. And you're going to hurt yourself. Boof. Okay. Yes, downward spiral of wishing other people could read your fucking mind. But it took me 3 decades to realize that, wait, I kind of have to tell them what's in here. I can't expect people to know that I don't want to do this if I don't say that I don't want to do this. And that sucks so fucking bad. To come to that realization, it's like, oh my God, I actually have to say no. It's like when you come to the realization of like making friends as an adult is hard, like regardless of neurotype or like any sort of neurodivergence, like adult friendships are hard, if for nothing else, like scheduling. If one of you is only free once every 14 weeks and the other one's free once every 7 months, you have to wait until the planets align, Hercules style, to fucking even see each other in person. Like, pandemic aside, you know? But when I was given the extremely rude realization that in order for me to eliminate some of this FOMO that I sometimes admittedly feel by scrolling through and seeing, you know, friendships and connections happening, I was given the absolutely diabolical advice to reach out to people first. Did y'all know about this?
Yes.
PJ did. PJ reached out first when we matched on Tinder. He did. Because I never did. Wow, if you hadn't, we probably wouldn't have met. Citrus the Wizard. Yes, thank you so much for the follow, beautiful friend. I appreciate it. Thank you for following. Yeah. You are the quicker reacher outer bounty. Whomst? You, Whiskey. You personally and exclusively must reach out first. I'm just kidding. We all do. It's not just Whiskey. It's all of yins. Okay? At some point, I decided that I had had enough. I began to reject all requests to help friends move. Good for you, Damon. Good for you. Just because you have the truck doesn't mean that you're the fucking community U-Haul, you know? Good for you, Damon. In fact, I turned down nearly all requests for help of any kind. That sounds like me with setting boundaries for the first time. You know, after 28 years of not doing so, I'm making up for lost time. And I admit, sometimes I do go a little scorched earth. Okay, listen. The dial...
I'm sorry, you said scorched earth and I was like, I just thought about it.
He said Philippa Perry. Yeah. Yeah. I bet her ears are still burning from that stream. But, I forgot what I was fucking saying, dude. Fuck. No, yes. The dial has been off this whole time, okay? So while I'm learning how to set boundaries for myself and to know when to ask for help and to know not to, sometimes I turn it a little far over, you know? I've got to learn how to exist within a happy medium. I'm still trying to get a hold of that. Still working on it. If any of you know how, please let me know. Drop a comment below. Every time a conversation... Wow, the book just popped out of my hand. It doesn't want to be read. Every time a conversation starts between me and a friend, with few exceptions, it's been because they started it, lol. Oh my god. me.com/me/pickle.html. Yes. I'm trying to do better, but for me, it's kind of like I have to walk before I can run. I just get so overwhelmed. Y'all saw my presentation. I hate notifications of all kinds, and they go so fast. Like, I have to, every time Discord, a bunch of messages happen on Discord in quick succession, and I'm not there to, like, read them in real time, and then the notification reaches triple digits. Immediate hives. I have to hide those notifications. And I don't mean open the app to see them. I mean go into my settings and turn off notifications. Because it makes me, like, not want to touch my fucking phone. So, in the community building that we've been doing, you all are helping me, like, host conversations and host gatherings for us and stuff. And I just have to carry that energy over, you know, like off stream, like in messages with people and whatnot. So I'm working on it. It is a multi-step mission in progress. Discord is the worst about esoteric notification settings. Yes! Anomalous Dusk! Yes! Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I'm so glad you are here. Yeah, this is not exactly the same as it was before, but you got your own song. Welcome in, lovely friend. I'm glad you're here. For those of you just joining us, we are cracking open The Art of Saying No. Bad Luck JK! Thank you for the Primesy subscribesy. Thank you all so much. Oh my gosh, let's dance.
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I'd like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure.
Thank you all so much. There's some new friends here. We have about a dozen new friends since last stream. I'm so glad y'all are here. Holy shit. Let's keep it going. I'm in the tater empire business. I'm in the empire business.
My name is Walter.
All right, Walter. Shut the fuck up and let me die in peace.
Where's my money, bitch?
Okay. Buttspot. Buttspot was hot to trot last stream. He got himself mute-ski woot-skied, which is hilarious. Hilarious. Shumpy! Welcome in! Yes, we are cracking open this book. I don't know how painful it will be. Hopefully not.
I don't think it'll be that
But right now it's, yeah, right. Like, right now it's validating as fuck.
pretty chill.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. All right. Okay, so yes, talking about going scorched earth. We're still working on finding the happy medium, right? So he went scorched earth. He had a pickup truck. All of his friends asked him for help because he had the truck. And then it turned into him saying no to requests of any kind from anyone for any reason. And in retrospect, I regret taking this approach. It was a knee-jerk reaction spurred by my growing resentment and self-loathing, and too severe in its making. Bean, thank you so much for gifting Shumpy a subby wubby ooh woo. Ooh woo. Said a subby wubby wubby wubby. Ooh woo. Bean, you are the king of sub gifts. You really are. 100% on this channel you are. We love a gift king, you know? Okay. It took me years of experimentation and practice to learn to say no with more grace and thoughtfulness. The art of saying no will help you make the transition from always pleasing others to prioritizing your own needs and desires. And importantly, I'll show you how to do it without taking the regrettable hardline approach I used long ago. All right, yeah, because I need to find out what's that happy medium look like. The importance of prioritizing. Oh shit, baby! Thank you, Pidge, for gifting specs and uwu. Uh-oh, we got a hype train coming? What? Is this true? I'm getting a, oh my goodness, it's a hype train. I don't know what that means. Completing level 1 requires combined support events. This has never happened on my channel. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh shit, oh shit. Hype train, hey, if you're trying to sub right now or follow right now, now's the time to do it. You have 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Nice, cheers. It's legal in my state, so it's legal on my stream. Don't come for me.
Good luck. And don't fuck it up.
It's Nugget. Oh shit. Bean coming in with the fucking bits, bitch.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Can you shut the fuck up?
Not that one.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick ass boy. Damn.
That was a thick ass gift. Thank you. Oh shit, whiskey, oh my god. Whiskey with the bits, whiskey with the bits.
A potato flew around my room before you came, excuse.
Baby! Pidge! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! For gifting stubby wubbies. We're 61% of the way there. Buttsbot, cough it up. Buttsbot. Let's hear from you, Buttsbot. How many bits does Buttsbot have to butt to Potatum's channel? This is Nucking Futz. What the nuck? This is Crucking Nazy. Okay, there's a little over 3 minutes left. Y'all keep going. As long as you want to do it, you do it, okay? And when it runs out, it runs out. I don't ever want to pressure anybody to make money. It was just a dopamine rush. It was like, you know, some of that good. Ow, my neck. I'm too old to do physical comedy. Well, I never did comedy. I'm too old to use my body to be funny in any way. Oh my gosh, Bean! Gifted a sub. This is I'm cheering. This is a cheer. Upside down like this is cheering. To Kelzion, Anomalous Dusk, Sylvia, Mushy Minna, and Hefacious Fan, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Bitch. We're level 2 on the hype train. This is amazing.
Beans, what the fuck?
I'm like
Helicopter,
sweating. Helicopter.
I came.
Me too, bitch. Okay, the importance of prioritizing your needs.
You're perfect, you're beautiful, you look like Linda Evangelista, you're a model.
Y'all motherfuckers. Y'all are on several tonight, and I am so fucking here for it. Level 3 hype train, almost level 4.
Daddy, chill.
Whiskey.
Winner, chicken.
I'm hot.
Dinner.
And I shaved my pits today, so they're sticking together, bitch. Hi, Morishi. You're in the middle of some fuck shit, my friend. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I wish this fan said yes, because oh yes. Hype trains are happening. The very first hype train to ever happen on this channel. Oh my god, Bean! Bean. We are autistic. We do love trains. We do love trains. My fucking stomach hurts from laughing so hard. Oh my gosh, Specs! Thank you so much for the gift sub to Marishi. You guys are so fucking cool. Imagine that I'm standing up dancing like my Arthur emoji right now.
She's doing the floss in her head.
I'm flossing in my head. The dance. I'm full of Chipotle right now, so I can't physically do it. Kelzion! Thank you kindly for the butt toast. Cheers. Oh, man. This is unbelievable. Look at the leaderboard. Y'all be... This is crazy. This has never happened on this channel. Bad luck, JK. I would share some of my fullness with you if I could. Bean! Clapping. We've got Alex with a subby wubby now.
Bro.
We've got Jiggy. We've got Cyanosis. We've got Bad Donna Badonna. We've got Plumpkin. Wow, I'm almost at 30 subby wubbies. Thank you. Y'all need a drink too, damn it. Cheers. Ugh. That's me when I wake up at like 3 a.m. and my mouth is completely dry. And I grab the bottle next to me like, ugh. And then I take a big chug and I'm like, ugh. Okay, enough with the guttural mouth sounds. Level 5 hype train? What even? Bitch, I wish I knew. I wish I knew what was going on. I really do. But apparently
The
we
giant
are.
horse conch weighs over 11 pounds.
It does. Does anyone know what that is in metric? Let's look it up. Are we unlocking emotes? That's fun. That's extremely fun.
Yeah, you get like hype train emotes for either the duration of the stream, or like you get them forever because you have got that level of a hype train.
We unlocked about 100 quid. Ha. Ha. Ah. I get you. I get you. To 30 what? Oh my good God. Jess has got a sub now because of the bean. Citrus the Wizard has a sub now because of the bean. The Incredible Paco has a sub now because of the bean. Everybody got subbies because of the bean. I'm like gonna cry for real. Like, oh my God. Not me crying out of happiness. Oh my God. I know. He must have got paid today. Like, want him a scratch off in it. Bean, I love you. I love my bean dip. I love him so fucking much. I don't know what I don't know, like, my level of like contentedness and like happiness and connection that I feel with this community. I don't know where I'd be without you all, and I fucking mean that. Y'all get me out of bed in the morning, y'all inspire me, y'all motivate me, y'all help me to just do the thing, even when I don't want to do the thing. Y'all are literally the only reason I'm here right now. Because my brain was empty until 5 p.m. today on what to do on stream, and I was like, man, should I just cancel? And then I'm like, no, bitch, you don't want to cancel. You don't want to cancel. This is a tradition at this point. We're on a schedule. Okay?
We're on a schedule, Margaret.
Oh my gosh. We have like 2 minutes left of this level 5 hype train. And if it goes, I'm just going to say, au revoir. It's been beautiful. I have zero expectations whatsoever. And I'm so happy that this happened. Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know what happens when we beat level 5. That means we gotta beat levels 1 through 4 first, which y'all obliterated. Absolutely obliterated. Keep going to level 5 million.
H-E-A-R, bitches, I am here.
Specs, thank you for the Hunsky Bitskis. Whiskey has returned. Yeah, look, all these names are new now. Bean said, hold my beer. Hold my beer. Aw, Bean got Crystal a sub. Yesterday was our mod Crystal's birthday. Happy birthday to the Crystal. Crystal, happy birthday to the Crystal.
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure.
Whether or not she's here right at this very moment, I still love her so much. Level 6, bitch! Let's go! Is everyone bopping their bussies like I am? I'm fucking pumped, bitch. It's turning into a tater auction. I'm hot. Am I? Oh my god.
Oh my God!
Trainussi by Claude Debussy. Okay. I'm gonna read the book until more things happen. Because I don't know what else to do. Oh, we got a first time chatter in the house. It's Cyanosis VT. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. You might get a train badge, Bean. If not, you should. If I could just click my heelsies and make it happen right now, I would. I would. I would. I love... Kaboosie. Okay. Whew. Lordy mercy, y'all. Got me flipping all over here. Level 6. I cannot believe it. I love y'all so much. Just reading stuff and then we'll get back to it here. Okay. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. The importance of prioritizing your needs. I wonder how old this person was when he wrote this, because I think it's really interesting to hear when other people realize this shit, you know? Like when other people are like, maybe I shouldn't never say no. Like maybe I should start saying no. Yeah, maybe I should consider, yes, like as a treat. Let me treat myself to regarding my own needs. You know, just a little amuse-bouche. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned is that no one will protect my time or prioritize my needs as vigilantly as me.
Preach it. Preach it, Eddie.
No printer, just facts. That's understandable. Most people act out of self-interest. They naturally put their own priorities ahead of others' priorities. That wasn't natural for me. I mean, it probably was at one time, but my environment said no to me. You know? So I couldn't say no anymore. Huh. But that means that each of us is responsible for making sure our personal needs are met. No one is going to do it for us. Moreover, it's important that we attend to our own needs before attending to the needs of others. This assertion may make you feel uncomfortable, particularly if you strive to be loving and giving in all that you do, but allowing your needs to remain unaddressed while you continuously cater to others is the path toward resentment and bitterness. It can even become a health issue if you run yourself ragged. I speak from experience. Oh my God. Sylvia, yes, contrary to popular belief, freak what you heard. Fuck what your environment has taught you, if your environment has taught you otherwise. You do have needs, and those needs deserve to be met. I'm just thinking of... this ties into every facet of my life, so I'm going to be bouncing around back and forth, and a lot of it, it's all intersectional and it's all intertwined, so like... Because I didn't know that I was literally ADHD, and I was, you know, under the assumption, well, I didn't even know what fucking ADHD and autism were until I started learning about them and how they presented in myself and other like undiscovered autistic, especially women, femme presenting, AFAB bodies, and men who have fallen through the cracks, non-binary people who've fallen through the cracks. Like, I ran myself the fuck ragged with odd job here, odd job there, work here for a handful of months, start throwing up the night before my shift. You know, it would get to the point where it would be harder and harder to get to the fucking car. Hold on. Hype train success. Oh, look, we got a fucking choo-choo.
And we get an emote. Some people get emotes.
You guys got some emotes. You got some emotes. How fucking cute is that? Oh my god, look at this one. Look at... Wait, not that one. I mean, that one's cute. I'm leaving it. The last 4 was an accident. But look at that! Being nauseous before work is all too familiar to me. Yes! And then it's like, okay, fine. Jesus Christ, I'll just pound this fucking 32-ounce iced coffee that I brought from home. And I'll just chew, you know, 20 of my Lifesavers Winto mints while I'm doing my work. And, you know, if I don't look at the clock too many times, it'll be lunchtime soon. And then I can hit my weed pen and shove down an entire hibachi chicken meal in 17 minutes. And then get back to my desk and be fucking miserably full and moaning and groaning and going, oh, my belly!
Can't wait till work's over now.
Until 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And then go home and get obliteratingly high. And just wind down in darkness and silence with your eyes closed. Rinse, repeat. Until you physically cannot bring yourself to go back to work. Isn't capitalism fun? Pidgey said. Hysterically. Hilariously. Yeah, it's a blast.
Gas.
It's a gas, all right. It's flatulence. It's hot air off a turd is what it is. Okay? I had no fucking idea that I was disabled. And I was under the assumption that I was abled. And I was expected to do abled things. Things that other abled people are able to do. But like, the more I began to deconstruct this shit and like look at shit molecularly and step-by-step trace how fucked up gestures vaguely is, it made me realize that this society is not built for any of us. Neurotypical and holistic people just seem to have, they just were born clicked onto the right channel somehow. Like, I don't know. I don't believe that all people are destined to be one way or the other, but like but then it's like, we weren't the only ones getting indoctrinated with whitewashed history and incomplete knowledge in public school. Like, everyone was. But neurotypical and holistic people sort of went with it. They just went along to get along because it's like, oh, okay, I trust the information that you're telling me is true, so I have no questions and I accept it for what it is. And my ass is sitting there going, but wait. Like, I'm remembering what you said, and when we were talking about bringing up questions in church a lot. My fucking, but why ass. They hated me, dude. They hated me. But Whiskey was like, wait, if we all came from 2 people, then why are there people with different colors of skin? And then they were like, oh, don't you worry your pretty little head, darling. You just gotta have faith in the Lord and He will provide. Like, fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off! Bean, I used to cry my eyes out before work, like hyperventilating, snot, crying on the bus. Felt. The amount of times that I would also like hold it in all day by a thread and then just crumble and weep on the commute home. Like, I used to say that I thrive under pressure. I wouldn't say thrive. I am efficient under pressure. but I crumble in private when it's all over. Like, dude, when I tell you, last year was a lot of firsts for me as far as like my art stuff goes. But it's still a form of work, right? Especially when I had to go in public and do things like publicly with my art. It wasn't just me painting at home, you know, scrunched up with my knees to my bosom like a little goblin just painting. I posted it online, and I, you know, got a few of my pieces, a few of my like larger watercolors were in an art gallery last summer in an art exhibit. And oh my gosh, you know, just the prep work that went into that and purchasing frames and whatnot. And then the drive over there was a long drive. It was like a multi-month process and a lot of steps. And then the night of, we went, and I got into the car when we left. Like, I ripped my fucking mask off, and I took my glasses off, and I just broke down and just wept. Just because of the relief that I felt knowing that this is over. Being like, oh my fucking God. I've been waiting for this day for fucking 3.5 months or whatever, and I'm so glad we're done with it. I'm so glad that I could put down that beast that's been lurching on my back all this time. Same thing happened with the art festival. I prepared for that for like 6 months. I slept for 2 hours the night before. Pidge didn't sleep at all. Like, it was a big day for both of us, and I fucking wept after that too. Tears of relief. And just... I feel like, for me, learning boundaries and learning how to say no, I'm not picking my nose, it's itching, okay? Relax. I had to begin to listen to my body and stop, like, pathologizing and like, putting negative connotations to the way that my body naturally reacts to things. Like, crying is a big one for me, and we've talked about that, you know, a whole bunch. Like, you better dry it up. Stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about. You know, we've talked about that classic, that banger. Oh, you crying like a little girl, you being a little bitch, a little pussy, a little anything that's, you know, considered or aligned with feminine qualities or femininity, because, you know, like homophobia and transphobia, all of that's based in misogyny. Like, all of it is. Like, feminization is a fate worse than death to a lot of people who are just so closed off and refuse to accept that queer people exist, right? But, like, I had to stop tying, like, negative connotations to crying. I had to stop blaming myself for crying. I had to stop trying to find a reason why I'm crying. That one was the hardest, because we've talked about before, like, intellectualizing your feelings versus just feeling your fucking feelings. And I would always try to contextualize why I was doing something. Why am I so angry right now? Let me sit and really deconstruct this and think about this. Why am I crying tears right now? What I came to learn was, bitch, sometimes there is no reason. Literally. I cry so fucking often for any and every reason and for no reason at all. And I had to reframe it in my mind as my nervous system re-regulating itself. And once I came to that single realization and that single reframing, it has helped me to stop apologizing so much when I cry. Like, I'm still surprised at my body when it decides to start crying. But I don't apologize for it as much, nearly as much as I used to, if at all anymore. Which, we got here, bitch. We got here. Took us 30 years, but we made it. We made it. But just projections thrown onto us our whole lives for being hysterical, emotional, crybabies, too sensitive, anxious, sad, depressed, just all of these words that aren't even like inherently bad, but they always had some stank on them because whoever was saying them meant, like, had malintent. But I had to let all that shit go, and literally, sometimes I'll just be listening to a song that's like a banger, like, just like a bop, like an upbeat, like a song off Renaissance or something, not even like an emotionally, like a ballad, and I'll just start weeping because I just love what I'm hearing. Like, anytime I see art that really just, my eyeballs just drink it up, or music that just wraps itself around my entire body and just like takes me the fuck over. I can feel it like travel through my limbs. It makes me cry sometimes. And if you understand what that feels like, then you understand. But if you don't, I don't feel the need to necessarily explain it anymore. Not in like a fuck you kind of way, but like, most importantly to myself. Finding reasons for myself, you know? I've got to catch up on this chat. Y'all always say the goodest stuff. The goodest. The booger bubble bus. Oh my god. What a banger. Bad luck, JK. Man, I got so stressed out at work, I cried in the freezer of a convenience store during the fall. Lord. The amount of walk-ins. The amount of walk-in coolers and walk-in freezers that I screamed, cried, cursed, curled up into a little ball in the corner and rocked back and forth. For real. Because I was overheating, but also overwhelmed. And I wanted to be in a fetal position, but I was melting. I would use the freezer for that. Yeah, dude. Restaurants. Oh my god. I worked in a handful of restaurants in my life. But the longest I've ever stayed at one restaurant was a year. And it was my most recent public job. And it was working at a hotel restaurant, like on the main level. And it was also like there was a hotel bar on the rooftop. We would have to deliver fucking food up there every evening for dinner or whatever. So it was all the same. I had to work everywhere. And just the rigmarole Rick Moranis hoops that you had to jump through. And oh my god, it was one of those just ritzy fucking bougie hotels for no reason in the middle of Podunk, Appalachia. Like, come on. Talk about putting lipstick on a pig. But it just, working for people who were like locally wealthy radicalized the fuck out of me, dude. Radicalized the fuck out of me. Because I've been talked at like I am a smushed cockroach on the bottom of people's feet because I didn't bring out their jams and jellies fast enough. And that is not hyperbole. How about you zoom the fuck out? You know? Why is your vein popping out of your neck yelling at a woman standing there like this? Because I had to run back 10 feet and grab your gems and jellies. Man, I can't think about that job too long because it pisses me the fuck off. Hi, Boobski. Hi, birthday boy on Monday.
Oh, are you still reading the chat?
No, I mean, yes. Working under pressure, I look fine, but on the inside, it's that scene from A Clockwork Orange where Alex has his eyes held open and is screaming in horror. Classic. Being unemployed has a lot of downsides, but not having daily meltdowns certainly is not one of them. Agreed. A lot of my stomach issues worked themselves out once I stopped working public jobs. And I don't want, like, I don't know how to formulate this thought. Thank you, baby. Or thank you, Whiskey. Whiskey, my baby. Baby Whiskey. I was ranting about capitalism on Twitter today. because it's a day on this planet, right? And I talk about it a lot, how I'm not able to work a public job. And that's objectively a fact. Not for lack of trying. I've been in the workforce getting paid under the table for the first few years since I was 14 years old, okay? So from 14 to 28, literally half of my lifetime up to that point, I was in the workforce somewhere, somehow. But once I hit this just insurmountable wall that had to be addressed, I hit the wall at thousands of miles per hour and turned into scattered molecules. And I've been sweeping them the fuck up ever since. And it's taken a while. Okay? It's taken a while. It's been about 2 years. Give or take. Well, 3 since I worked the public job, but like my neurodivergence discovery definitely ties into this. And it also ties into like a lot of people say, man, I feel like I notice so much more of my autism or so much more of my ADHD now that I know that it exists. And it makes me feel like I'm putting on, or like, am I acting? Like, am I more autistic or more ADHD than I just realized that I was? And it's like, you know, when my family would trade in and get a new car, I would see that car everywhere. There's a word for it. I can't remember what that effect is called, but like you become familiar with a thing, and then all of a sudden it previously wasn't, you know, you didn't recognize it or notice it, but now it's all you see. So that's what it is for me. But that means that I have had to largely rely on the kindness of strangers this whole fucking time to keep me alive. Because I'm telling you right now, friends, moving back home is not an option for me. Period. I had to move back home after I dropped out of grad school. And oh my God. Having to be on in your own house because just existing neutrally as yourself, you make people uncomfortable because they feel like something's wrong, but really that's just your face. And it's like, you've known me my whole fucking life. Don't you know what my face looks like? So moving back home is not an option for me. That means I'm largely reliant on people's kindness, people around me's kindness, like community kindness, to help literally keep me alive on this planet. And having those kind souls in my life for those, especially those first few months, like when I first lost that job, it helped me to kind of start laying the groundwork for something that I could build on my own. And I'm not at all saying, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm literally, this is like a one-time thing. Like, events in my life had to unfold the way that they unfolded in order for me to be here right now. Like, and people sometimes ask me for advice on how to, like, make income as a disabled person. And I'm still figuring that the fuck out too, you know? Streaming here on Twitch. I'm on the creators program at TikTok. Whenever a TikTok of mine gets over 1,000 views and it's over a minute long, I get like a handful of cents per unique view of at least like 5 seconds. Like, there's a lot of parameters, but I get like anywhere from like 40 to 80 cents per 1,000 views. So that's little sprinkles here and there. And, you know, my merch, I'm really trying to like just throw fucking branches out there and create roots that will stay. And it takes a long fucking time. I'm a one-tater team. Pidge supports me all that he possibly can, and he does so much for me and with me. But there's so much of this that I literally have to do myself, like, you know, creating the art and designing the merch. Like, I wish that I could just transplant my ideas into someone else's brain without having to verbally communicate them or type them up, and just have someone else just get it and do it. If I could clone myself tomorrow just to help me do this shit, I so would. But there's no one easy fucking way. I've been grasping at straws my whole life. I've been throwing spaghetti to the wall and seeing how much of it stuck my whole life. It's fucking hard. And it's a lot. And it's messy and gross and difficult. Money sucks. Hate money. Oh man. This chat has like tripled since I last checked it. I always love watching these back and reading what y'all say. Blue car syndrome. Yep, that's the official name for it. Okay.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
Throws it against the wall. Okay, back to the book. When I advise prioritizing your needs over the needs of others, I'm not suggesting you ignore the latter. Not at all. You can still be there for friends, family members, coworkers, and even strangers and help them when asked. The important thing is that you avoid abandoning your own priorities in the process. After all, how much use will you be to others over the long run if you don't first attend to yourself? Yep. Corny as it may be, the phrase, you can't pour from an empty cup, is the fucking truth. So I'm like, fine, I'll just keep one drop in the glass. Bloop. Perfect. My glass isn't empty. It's the closest thing it can be to empty without it being empty. Here, let me just give all of myself to everyone, always. And completely abandon myself. Like, that was my fucking existence. For example, suppose you agree to help people so often that you begin to skip meals, sacrifice sleep, and forsake activities you enjoy. You'll gradually become so exhausted, irritable, and unhappy that you won't be able or willing to help others. This is the reason I recommend attending to your needs first. Doing so gives you the freedom to attend to other people's needs when you have the time, energy, and inclination. You'll be able to decide to help on a case-by-case basis without risking or forfeiting your own health and happiness. Consider how flight attendants explain airline safety to passengers. Yes, exactly. In the event that the cabin decompresses, you're supposed to put on your oxygen mask first before helping others put on their masks. Then help yourself first, then assist others. These instructions aren't intended to promote self-preservation. Rather, the airline knows that if you help others first, you risk succumbing to hypoxia, and that would prevent you from helping anyone. That's so fucking true, objectively. One of the few things I hold on to from my Christian days is you must help yourself before you can help others. Wow. That seems more aligned with actual Christianity, like Christianity on paper as itself, and not as, you know, a tenet of white nationalism. You know, can't pour from an empty vessel. My therapist has helped me understand this. It has had to help me understand this. Yes, same. I miss my therapist. I would like to go back. And by go back, I mean telehealth, but I don't know if that's a thing. It all comes back to some bullshit that I'm always ranting about, right? Anyway, here we go. The psychology of assertiveness. Many people think it's got it? Many people think assertiveness is something that you're born with, but that's incorrect. Assertiveness is a learned trait. In the context of this book, it's a learned skill. Being assertive means having the self-confidence to express your needs and wants and pursue your own ends, even in the face of opposition. It involves telling people where you stand on a given topic and leaving no room for confusion. Assertiveness is declaring your point of view and not feeling as if you need others' approval or validation. For example, suppose you're discussing politics with a friend. Being assertive means expressing your position even if it contradicts your friend's position. Another example. Suppose you're watching the latest blockbuster movie at your local theater, and the person next to you is talking loudly on their phone. Oh my God. I'm just getting flashbacks of all the fucking times I've had to confront people at the theater, bitch! Assertiveness is asking her to lower her voice or turn her phone off. I just have to tell y'all some of the most outlandish instances. It's been more than just people talking, okay? One time, I was sitting in the back row watching a movie, and there was a teenage girl standing up in her seat, leaning against the wall on her phone, speaking as if she's at Applebee's. talking to somebody and just like being like, yeah, I know, like chewing her gum. I looked over and in my Applebee's voice, I said, "Do you mind?" And she was like, "No." And then she slunk back into her seat and fucking was quiet for the duration of the film. One time I was in a movie theater sitting like in the front half of the seats, and two people in the back start smoking cigarettes. It was like, you know, a matinee. It was like me, my friend, and them in the back smoking fucking cigarettes. I was like, are you actually fucking joking? I got up and I told on them because fuck them. They got kicked out. When I talk about inconsiderate cigarette smokers, that's the shit I'm talking about. Hello. But also I watch, you know, I consume a lot of like criminal justice content, true crime content. And I've seen it go really fucking sideways where you ask somebody to stop doing a thing and then they react physically and violently. And that's fucking terrifying to think about. I try not to think about it too often because my boundaries are important to me and I don't want me stating a boundary in public if someone in the fucking pharmacy line is smoking a cigarette and blowing it on my neck or whatever. Oh man, I gotta tell y'all this fucking story of what happened 2 nights ago. Oh, Pidge. So, it had just gotten dark, and I hadn't fed the cats for the second time yet. Pidge was going to go walk like down one street over. This is a very small block. The streets don't even have fucking painted lines on them, so it wasn't like he was on a trek or anything. He was just gonna go see if he could lay eyes on one of our cats, Jinx, one of our outdoor babies that we feed that we haven't seen in a while. Because he has seen her a handful of times, like driving home, he'll see her in other people's yards, but he doesn't know for sure if it's her, so he was like, I'm gonna go see if I can get a better look. And I don't know, man, I was playing Fortnite and I was eating Oreos and I don't know how much time passed, but it felt kind of like a long time. But realistically, it was probably around 15 minutes or so when it was just literally like the next street over. Not that I was worried or anything, but I noticed and I was just like, And then I heard our window was open and I heard PJ talking to somebody and I was like, oh, must be talking to like a neighbor who's going to the car or whatever. So I was like, well, I just lost this match. Let me get up and go feed the outdoor babies. So I grab the food canister and I go outside and I see some random dude in a baseball cap and a t-shirt standing near Pidge talking to him, and they were both facing our property, like our backyard. And I was just like, oh man, I bet this guy was just like walking by and he asked Pidge how to get to the fucking market or something, and he's giving him directions or something. Like, I had no idea what they were talking about. I couldn't really hear them. And so I fed the cats, and Pidge waved at me. He saw me and waved, and we know each other really well. And I was like, if he's been talking to this guy for a minute, I'll know that he's wanting a life raft. So I was just like I did one of these, like, hey, come on, hey, come on, you know, just one time. And brought the cat food container back in, looked out the window, they're standing in the exact same spot. I was like, okay, I need to physically go rescue my mans right now. I need to go save him from this conversation somehow. So I go down to get our trash can because it was trash day, bring it back up the hill beside our porch. And when I got to the bottom of the hill, dude had his shoulder turned, but Pidge was facing me. And I said, with my whole arm this time, come on. So I pulled the trash can up, and then Pidge, I didn't see him come up, but I turned around and he was like behind me. And he was basically, Pidge was going, you know, like, all right, man, yep, have a good night, yep, okay, thank you. I put the trash can back. I came back around to be like, Pidge, what was all that about? That man was he started walking up our hill. He walked into our yard. He didn't go his separate way. He followed us up our yard into our property, around the other side of the house. Our unit's on this side. He went back that way. I didn't have any context, so I didn't want to say, hey, my man, you need some help? Like, I didn't want to look like a cunt if it wasn't warranted. It was, but I should have. But anyway, I was like, PJ, he's in our fucking yard. And he's like, I know, just come inside and I'll tell you everything. And he said that he walked over there to that street to look for Jinx. And this dude was talking on the phone to his wife, sitting on his porch. And he was like, hey man, you need help looking for something? Looking for anything? You know? And Paige was like, yeah, you know, just walking around, just kind of looking for a cat. You know, we haven't seen her in a while. Not really wanting to start a conversation, just giving like a short enough answer or whatever. Well, that's all this guy needed. Eye contact was all this guy needed. He came out to PJ and started talking him up about stuff, about cats, and about, oh yeah, this neighbor's cat just had babies. My wife and son had a cat, well, whatever, you know. And, you know, the dreaded conversation that you don't want to be in, right? And then he said, yeah, I used to live in that unit over there next to yours, and that fire pit in your backyard. I actually built that back several years back. And Pidge was just kind of like, cool, man. Like, yeah. You know, not really wanting to contribute further to the conversation. Trying to be like, yep, all right, well, I gotta go. Hey, have a good one. You know, he did that 7 or 8 times, tried to break away verbally. Dude wasn't picking up the vibe. He also told PJ that he had been drinking. So this guy was drunk, okay? As PJ starts making his way over to the house, the dude follows him and won't stop talking. Will not stop talking. Talking about that fucking fire pit, his pride and joy. Don't care, bro. I've never used it. I've lived here for 4 years. I have never once used the fire pit in my backyard. I just haven't. I'm so sorry to break your heart like this, sir. But they stopped like at the road and he was still fucking chatting him up, so I had to go and physically rescue him, right? I was like, what the fuck? Who is this guy? He's walking around our house. So all of our windows were open at that time. Well, all. There was one in the living room open, one in the kitchen open. The kitchen window leads to the backyard. I walk into the kitchen and look out the window, and the dude is walking in through our backyard. Just like the lady and gentleman walking their dog on leash. And I'm like, hello? In my mind, I said hello. In real life, this is exactly what I did, okay? This is exactly what I did. I saw him, and I turned around and walked back in the living room. I said, PJ, he's in the backyard right now. What do I do? So I turned back around, and at this point, he is standing up to our window. There's a screen there, breathing his unmasked breath into my house, talking about pointing over there. Bada bang, 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 bang. I built that fire pit in 2016. I said nothing. I slammed the fucking window on him. Fuck you, dude. He pecked on the window. I was like, am I in a movie right now? Why do all of our neighbors have the unmitigated audacity to trespass on my property? Do I look like an actual floor mat? Do I have footprints all over me? What the fuck? Well, I slammed the fucking window harder than I probably should have. Whatever. Pulled the fucking blinds, pulled the curtains, turned the light off. He got the fucking message. He stumbled on home. Well, And it shook PJ the fuck up. He was like, what? He had to explain to me how many fucking times he tried to break away from this guy and end the conversation. He said that he got a weird kind of vibe off the guy. You know, we talk about trusting your gut instinct all the fucking time on this channel. Do it. I'm glad he did, because this guy fucking walked through our fucking yard. Well, he said that it got to the point where PJ tried to break away so many times that he felt like he was getting weird fucking vibes from this guy. Ziggy D Titty. Oh my God, 10 out of 10 username. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Everyone's getting a variation of the same song tonight. But PJ said that he was afraid to tell him no again.
I came.
Because it felt like it would have escalated into something potentially hostile. And that's a full-grown man speaking to another full-grown man. And he helps share perspectives from like a cis male perspective that I haven't previously entertained. And I shared some of my perspective as a fucking...
Someone who doesn't get to fucking have a choice.
Yes. As a hyper-vigilant autistic person who has had to be aware of my surroundings my whole life, because I have been sexualized by grown men since I was like 11 or whatever in public, you know? Like I didn't have the choice. Like walking with keys between my fingers, Wolverine style, to the car, pepper spray, mace, little tools. Learning how to skirt conversations and bob and weave to say no that doesn't hurt the man's feelings so that he doesn't skin you and wear you like a coat. That shit makes me fucking mad, dude. So yeah, saying no is an art. You know what else is? Taking no for an answer, Billy Bob. Once I found out that guy was drunk, it did add context, because I get it. When I told PJ, when I used to like drink at the pub, I would start conversations with women in the bathroom. Like, stuff that I would never normally say a word to any stranger, but like, alcohol just like lowered that inhibition and it gets me talking, and I get it. I do get it. Having alcohol on board can fuck up your judgment. He very much could have misread the vibe. He like wanted to come in though. He mentioned, what did he say to you?
He just had known that the previous tenants of, I guess, this place and the other place, were like meth heads of some kind.
Okay.
So that they were trying to make meth or something in the fucking bathtub, like, or I don't know what the hell they were probably doing some Breaking Bad shit.
Yeah.
Who knows? They did the shit that literally happened in Breaking Bad.
In his unit, yeah, they fucked up the bathtub, Breaking Bad style.
So I don't know why he thought like.
And he wanted to come into our unit. There's just some cognitive impairment going on from the alcohol,
right.
And you know.
Like, while I got weird vibes from him, I also got like genuine, like this guy's a genuinely not bad person, like,
yeah.
So I was like, you're cool, but like I also, I don't want to make any man mad for any reason, because I don't know what they're capable of.
Exactly. You don't know what people are fucking capable of. Thank you for sharing that, baby.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck, man.
Fucking had a dream about it.
PJ said he literally had a dream about it. It like shook him up that he had a dream about it. I'm so sorry, baby. So yeah, when someone tells you no as well, that doesn't mean try harder. That doesn't mean, okay, guilt card now. It means no. A word that was not allowed to come out of my mouth when I was a child. On tonight's stream, I At the end of Wednesday's stream, I wanted tonight's stream to be about talking about me being child-free by choice. Because at the end of last stream, I told y'all that I was asked to give a statement for iNewspaper in the UK. I don't know how it was found. I'm extremely grateful and excited for the article to come out, but I have no idea how the journalist found me. But I'm going to wait to talk about being child-free by choice when that article comes out, and we'll cover it on stream and we'll talk about it. Because, man, that's a whole other conversation that I'll spare you on. But kids and children and young people are human beings, and they do have agency whether you treat them like it or not. And if you don't treat them like it, then they'll grow up being codependent, traumatized, people pleasers, avoidant. You know, in my case, I turned to substances to cope. Like, you have to treat people like people. Hot take. You know? Oh, my butt cheeks are numb. Let's finish this chapter and then we'll take a quick BRB. Beam connections.
Beam knows every bread.
Okay. Here's another example. Suppose a friend asks you to take him to the airport on Friday. If you've made other commitments, being assertive means telling him no, even if doing so causes him to react poorly. It's so hard because if you're made to manage other people's emotions, you feel responsible for the mess that they're making, you know? At its most basic form, assertiveness is candid communication, nothing more. Yes, that's good news because it means assertiveness isn't a skill you're born with. You can develop it with training and practice. I was telling PJ that last night, like, I'm making up for lost time now, sure, in saying no and enacting my boundaries. Sometimes I do go a little scorched earth, Philippa Perry, but, like, it gets easier. When I say it, I mean the feeling of wanting to throw up. It gets less and less severe over time the more I practice saying no to people. And I came to the realization last night that I get a lot of that practice online by telling trolls and haters to go fuck themselves. Plus, it just gives me that little dopamine that I need to make it through the day. You know, sometimes blocking isn't, I'm like, no, that doesn't really end it for me. Let me tell them to fuck off and then block them. Oh yeah. It's given me a lot of good practice. Okay. In The Art of Saying No, which is this book right here, we'll discuss assertiveness as it applies to turning down requests others make of you. That's the purpose of this book. But along the way, you'll find that this single crucial skill, i.e. saying no, can serve as the launching pad for becoming more assertive in every area of your life. As you learn to be more assertive, your mindset will change. You'll become more willing to share your ideas with others. My eyeballs. You'll be more inclined to ask for things you need and want, and you'll be less hesitant to express your opinions and more ready to speak up for those who are unable or unwilling to speak up for themselves. Like our inner child. Like our child self. Taking back power that we've been doing collectively as late discovered neurodivergent people and the like, recovering codependent people, recovering people pleasers, recovering people with complex trauma. We're taking back our agency, taking back our humanhood that we weren't afforded as kids because, you know, I can't speak for other countries. I can only guess, like Canada, the UK, and whatnot. But thank you, Kelsey. In this country, kids don't have rights. In the United States, kids are baby capitalists in training, you know? Yeah! Oh, that was so satisfying. Redeems posture check, redeems stretch. I'm about to do all of that when I finish reading these two sentences. We'll take a quick BRB. Did I finish? No. As you learn to be more assertive, your mindset will change. You'll become... Did I already read that? Yes. Why do you all follow me? And of course, you'll become better and more adept at giving voice to that simple, beautiful word that can literally change your life. No. And on that, we're going to take a BRB. Smoke them if you got them. Snack them if you got them. Drink them if you got them. Stretch your limbs. Punch your numb butt cheeks until they come back to life. And we will be back soon. Hello, beautiful people. Even though I started my Prilosec treatment today, my heartburn is still here, so.
It'll take a couple days.
It'll take a couple of days. Thanks, y'all. I missed you. I want to read something that Bean said over break, because it ties in so much with what we're talking about. On the topic of saying no, I struggle with being told no. Not because I'll get angry at them or anything like that, but my brain is just constantly like, oh my God, they hate me. Right in the RSD. Right in the rejection, sensitivity, dysphoria. And that's a big that's a common thing with like neurodivergent people, like such as ADHD or autism, or BPD, or bipolar disorder, but you don't have to be those things to feel that. We all, who the fuck loves to get rejected? But with, at least me, I can't speak for anybody else, but with me, it sends a shockwave through my core. It physically can hurt. Depending on what it is, depending on the situation and the context, my brain just goes into panic mode. It's something that I'm having to learn how to manually override. And I feel like my fear of being told no out of rejection is holding me back from messaging people first a lot, because like I've said before, I don't want to message someone. I imagine them looking at their phone and being like, oh God, what the fuck does this bitch want? My brain is just projecting movies of the worst case scenarios in my head at all times. And I'm learning how to change the channel. I'm learning how to pop that VHS tape out of that fucking VCR to put in something else, something a little nicer. I'm trying to teach myself, but what if it goes right? But what if it goes well? You are all the time fucking optimizing for every possible bad scenario, but you hardly ever remember to think about how well something can go. So I've just got to keep reframing shit like that to get me to reach out more and to make connections first. It's all fucking tied together. Thank y'all so much for being here, by the way. Welcome back from break. If you're just joining us, hi, I'm Potatum, and we love each other here, and we're reading out of this book. We're going to finish part 1 tonight already. It's super fast. This is a short little book, but this is the next little section that I took in a way that wasn't seeing the full perspective for what it was, and I put this book down 2 years ago, and I was like, that's ableist. Stamp. End of. No questions, Your Honor. But I picked it up literally today, and I read it with a new perspectives, new mind frames, and I was able to see what this author actually meant when they said that. So let's get into it. And well, also listen, as I read this, I'll tell you what I originally thought was ableist. I want to know what y'all think about this too, because am I tripping? Is there something there? I don't know. We'll see. So, assertiveness versus aggressiveness. It's important that we distinguish between being assertive and being aggressive. They're often confused as being similar, but they are entirely different behaviors. Healthy assertiveness is respectful. As we noted in the previous section, being assertive is nothing more than confidently communicating your position. Aggressiveness is belligerent. An aggressive individual communicates in a way that is rude, dismissive, and even threatening. Here are a few examples of each behavior in various situations. Now, here comes the little scenario that I read, and I was like, wait a minute, ableist. I don't feel that way anymore. Y'all tell me how you feel. Or if you see the nuance too. So in this scenario, you're expressing disagreement with someone. Assertiveness would be listening to the other person and then sharing your dissenting opinion after they have finished speaking. And then the aggressiveness in this scenario would be interrupting the other person and speaking over him or her. And that was a sentence that I, in my freshly discovered ADHD mind, and was learning about ADHD, learning why I inadvertently cut people off when I talk. Like, I blurt shit out because my brain only flashes information for so long, and sometimes I want to say a thing during the conversation, but I know if I wait till the natural lull, it'll fall out of my Swiss cheese trapdoor. Band name called it. So that learning that is seen as aggressiveness for some people, regardless of intent, TBH, made me feel like fucking shit, and that made me put this book down. But I'm seeing more so now in rereading the pretext leading up to this, like threatening, like blatantly, purposefully aggressive, not unintentionally interrupting you for a reason. Yes, Morishi, I think the author meant doing it like raising your voice over the other person to deliberately not hear them. Yeah. That's the realization that I came to after rereading this. Hey, mister, move it along, sir. Thank you. So, wow, him walking by just wobbled the whole monitor. But yeah, intent matters. He's not talking about people who blurt ski patatas, you know. He's talking about, like you said, Marishi, deliberately like, that's enough out of you. That is fucking aggressive, bitch. Don't do that. Okay, we're past that part. Now I feel like I can enjoy actually reading this book with you all, because I was nervous to get to that part for some reason. Anyway, sharing ideas in a group setting. Assertiveness would be participating in the group dialogue and allowing others to share their ideas and then expressing thoughts on those ideas in a respectful manner. Aggressiveness would be trying to dominate the group dialogue, interrupting others like deliberately, speaking over them deliberately, and tearing their ideas down without consideration for their feelings. I mean, yeah, if you're just choosing violence like Buttsbot and being a fucking prick, of course. But these examples give me context in my life of times when I was perceived as being aggressive by way of how I navigate social situations, like my speech pattern or my communication style. I'm thinking about all the times that people were too preoccupied with how I was saying something to pay attention to what I was trying to say. And I didn't have the language to even describe that until like a couple of years ago. So now whenever I see that somebody is sort of taking me in bad faith like that, whether it's intentional or not, I can be like, right, I apologize. I'll kind of try to temper myself here, but please listen to what the words that I'm saying. Like, the words that I'm saying are paramount here. How I'm saying them, I'm prioritizing on getting the word order right, on getting the full message out there, and I'm not concerned about what my face is doing. I'm not concerned about how my voice is sounding or about how fast or slow I'm speaking. I'm concerned about getting it right. And people understand that more now, and I'm around more understanding people, but back then I didn't used to be able to say that at all. Crystal, welcome in. Yes, Bean got your back, friend. Yes, we had a fucking 6-level hype train tonight. It was absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Y'all dropping bits and gifting subs like crazy in here. It was unbelievable. My very first hype train, and it was incredible. Yesterday was Crystal's birthday, y'all. Can I get a happy birthday, Crystal, up in the chat skis for our beautiful mod and lovely friend? And Luscious Libra. I'm sorry. I should have picked another L word. It was the first one. I was trying to do an alliteration thing. Lovely. I already said lovely, though. You know, our lovely,
You're
luscious.
perfect. You're beautiful. You look like Linda Evangelista. You're a model.
Luscious, lovely. Linda Evangelista Libra is Crystal. Finally. Canceled at last. Cancelus. All right. Continuing. Okay. All right. Okay. This book is calling me out a little bit. Okay.
It's a haters.
Because I was giving examples about telling people to shut up in the movie theater. And here we go. I'm sorry. Seeking silence in a movie theater. Assertiveness would be asking the offender to lower his or her voice so you can enjoy the movie. Sure. Aggressiveness would be demanding the offender to lower his or her voice and even threatening violence for non-compliance. Now, I have never fucking threatened anyone with violence, but my examples were extreme. You're standing up in your chair, leaning up against the wall in your Applebee's voice with your phone screen on max brightness. So yeah, I'm going to look over after a minute or two of that and say, do you mind? Because I already know what the answer is. Do you think she would have fucking listened to me if I was like, excuse me, young one, I was wondering if you would be interested in lowering your volume and perhaps even placing your posterior inside of your seat so that I may enjoy the film with the US dollars that I paid for. She would have laughed in my fucking face. I didn't threaten to beat her ass or anything. And then the people who started smoking cigarettes in the theater. I didn't even talk to them. I just got up and fucking...
You knew what conversation you were gonna have.
Yeah, the conversation, they probably fucking would have beat my ass. Okay. Seeking recourse for an improperly prepared drink at Starbucks. Oh my God. The amount of anxiety I just got in my stomach by thinking of that scenario. Gross.
Just give me the right thing so I don't have to say anything.
How often, if y'all get something wrong somewhere in person and you're still there, and it's not like a DoorDash order or something that you can't really fix in real time, how many of y'all...
Oh, Jesus. Gross.
How many of y'all actually say something and get the right thing, and how many of y'all never say anything and you just take it? And how many times do you do that? Because I do both. Depending on my spoon level that day, my wherewithal, my ability, my want to even continue the interaction. Sometimes I'm just so happy that the interaction is over that I'm like, fine, I don't care. I like white chocolate, I guess. I'll drink this. Like... I'm getting better though. Like at drive-thrus, if I ask for something and I check the bag before I drive off, not all Karen style, like, let me see, let me count the pickles on my burger.
You pull up even and check.
I pull up and check. I get out of the way. And if they, don't have my dipping sauce, especially sauce that I paid extra for, I want to say, hi, I'm so sorry. I generally do say I'm sorry. Which, I do that to kind of soften the blow of bothering them again. Because, listen, I don't like being bothered by customers.
Yeah, like, I've been there.
I've been there. Let's read this chat. Sylvia, about 50-50. PJ, nah, man, I'm taking the thing they gave me. Thanks. Bad luck, rarely. Marishi, oh, I never say anything, yes. Sylvia, it depends. If they give me something I hate, I'm saying something. Yeah.
That's fair.
Or like if I have my heart set on a thing and they give me something completely different, or if they leave something out.
Oh, it's on.
Oh, it makes me mad, sad, and bad, Bad luck, JK. I'll say something about an incorrect order about 15% of the time. That's pretty good. Bean. I'll say something on behalf of someone else, but not myself. Cut to that picture of Luigi and Daisy.
He said no pickles on his burger.
That we said was us. And Daisy's like, excuse me, he said no pickles. And Luigi's in the back like, bruh, mamma mia. But Daisy, excuse me? I am Daisy as well. Crystal. I'm like, hi, I'm so sorry to bother you. And I'm like, I don't want to say I'm more assertive when I'm speaking for someone else. It's just that I feel like I don't have to soften the blow, you know?
Mamma mia.
The worst is when you get home and realize they didn't give you the damn hot mustard sauce. Listen!
You thinking about Popeyes?
I am thinking about Popeyes. I'm thinking about all the times at Zaxby's they got our fucking sauces mixed up. I'm thinking about that one time I went to my local Mexican joint, and if you are cyclical with your foods like I am in any capacity, I'll tell you what I mean. I find one food, it's good one time, my brain depends on the same amount of dopamine that meal gave me, so I order that same thing again because I want to try to recreate that, and it's varying levels of dopamine. But like, my safe food was chorizo tacos for like a fucking few weeks to a month. And one day, I was like approaching the end of my safe food, but I wanted literally nothing else. But my favorite part about getting the traditional style tacos is it comes with a side of sliced radishes and a lime wedge. And bitch, I love to tear all four sides of my little baggie down, my little chip bag, and I squeeze the lime over the tortilla chips. And then I salt them.
So smart.
And it sticks to the chip because of the lime juice. And then I dip it in the salsa and I eat it. And it's wonderful. It's so like, it punches me in the mouth. It is so potent, and like, I get it. I use a lot of salt, whatever. But that was the only thing, right? Same. That was the only thing that I wanted. I didn't even want the tacos, but I knew I needed to eat more than just chips and salsa. So I ordered the 2 tacos. I don't even check my food because they always get it right. And they tie it up real nice, like triple knot that shit. Sometimes I have to open it with scissors, right? I'm not going to sit in the drive-thru and like reverse weave a basket. I'm just trying to get my food and go home. I fucking opened it. And they forgot the chips. Dude. That was a sad lunch. I begrudgingly ate like 1.5 tacos, if that. Because the thing that made me want the meal in the first place.
Mamma mia.
Yes, that comes with the meal I didn't get, and it made me fucking sad. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about chips. All right, getting that fucking Starbucks drink wrong, right? Oh my God. Assertiveness would be explaining the problem, like too much chocolate syrup in an iced mocha, to the barista and asking them to remake the drink while maintaining eye contact. Okay, you don't have to even maintain eye contact.
What's going on here? Yeah, this is getting aggressive.
All right, Damon. I'm all set on the eye contact. Thank you. That feels a little aggressive to me. I know eye contact is objectively not aggressive, but if you're straight mean mugging, like, probably not great. So if that's assertiveness, then what's aggressiveness? Hopping the counter and just pummeling the kid?
Grabbing him by the scruff.
Aggressiveness would be berating the barista for the mistake and demanding that the drink be remade while glaring at them.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's the difference between...
That's the difference. That's the difference. I make eye contact. I rarely make eye contact. I'm trying to get better at it, like with strangers in the moment. Sometimes when I get my food, like at the drive-thru or whatever, I'll just look at the food and I'll say thank you, because I want to make sure I grab it and it doesn't fall through my hand. I'm too concerned with grabbing the order. But I'm trying to do better at like looking up with my eyeballs and like, you know, I'm a lady. Okay, saying no when someone asks for help. Assertiveness would be being direct and declining the request, suggesting another person who may be able to help the requester. Aggressiveness. Yes, Marishi. A trick. I've been looking people between the eyebrows for most of my life. Or between the eye. Like right where your glasses sit. Right here. That's why it's not the eyeball. But people still think you're looking at their eyeballs. Alright. So assertiveness would be like, no thanks, but maybe this person will be able to help you. Aggressiveness would be barking no at the requester and dismissing and or belittling them for asking. No, why the fuck would I help someone like you? What the hell is wrong with you? No, you can't borrow my leaf blower. What the fuck?
Ma, the meatloaf.
What? Ma! What the fuck? The meatloaf. You get the idea. That's literally in this book. Aggressiveness is often an impulse. An aggressive person responds in a hostile or inconsiderate manner and often regrets doing so later. By contrast, assertiveness is planned, thoughtful, and considerate. An assertive person communicates their position with clarity while taking the other person's feelings into account. The aggressive individual is loud, opinionated, and self-absorbed. The assertive individual understands how to express their point of view with grace. Which brings us to our next and I think final chapter of the evening. Because the rest of it's just talking about what you'll get in this book. Like, no shade to the author, okay? At all. I feel like they spend an inordinate amount of pages describing what is going to happen in the book instead of just letting it happen in the book. Like, we already read the foreword, we already read the prologue. Like, you know, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, spending like 8 pages to talk about what the book is going to talk about instead of just talking about that thing. Instead of saying, in this book, you're going to learn how to... All right, what are the steps? Donde? Quickly. Saying no with grace. The art of saying no isn't just about learning how to rebuff requests for your time. Anyone can do that. Rather, the goal is to learn how to say no without feeling guilty. And that means using a bit of grace. Tell me if this scenario sounds familiar. You're frazzled. You have a mountain of work in front of you and not enough time to get everything done. Making matters worse, your phone keeps ringing, preventing you from making headway. Joke's on you, Damon. I keep my ringer off.
When did you write this, 2008?
When was this book written? Not only do I keep my ringer off, I keep the screen facing down. Because anytime it lights up, whoosh, all 80 of my HDs be looking. This was written in 2017. Well, it was published in 2017. Well, I think that some people actually do use ringers on their phones. I don't know any of those people. I bet most of y'all don't have your phone on ring. Why did I just sound like a chicken on accident? Love that for me. Okay, you're frazzled, your phone keeps fucking ringing, and the problem is compounded by the fact that people keep stopping by your office to ask you for help. Oh, so you're at work. Oh, okay.
That makes more sense.
My mother does, and it butts the butt out of me. I mostly don't want my face facing in the general direction because I do not wish to be perceived. Yes, same. I want to be perceived on my terms, you know? All right, in short, you're feeling overwhelmed and frustrated. At that moment, another coworker approaches your office. He wants you to do something for him, unaware of your stress and state of mind. He's in for a surprise. You've been saying yes to people all day and you're sick of it. Worse, you're irritated at yourself for continuously catering to your coworkers' needs while allowing your own to go unattended. For me, that means I'm fucking starving because it's 2:30 and I haven't taken a lunch yet, and I haven't peed in an hour and a half, so my bladder and my eyeballs are floating. Like that. Ugh. My work existence was overloading and overwhelming in fucking every way. And it was exacerbated by my people-pleasing tendencies. To put myself last, not realizing that I had needs that weren't being met, like as an autistic person, not realizing that that buzzing fucking light above my desk was the reason why I was going to snap. Like, here at home, whenever our AC box, we're penguins. We love running the AC until it's fucking wintertime. But we have it on fan this time of year because the box will freeze up. And this one in here, when it starts freezing up, it will make this like high-pitched whiny sound. And it happens like, it's very tapered. slow crescendo. It's not like a sudden thing. Sometimes I don't notice it. And it happens with both of us. Sometimes each other doesn't notice it and the other person will turn it off. And then we'll go, oh. Like, I'll feel like weight being lifted from my shoulders, not realizing that a background noise in my environment was pushing me off the precipice of fuckness. You know? Okay. All right. So your eyeballs are floating, you're fucking hungry, you're swamped, your phone keeps ringing, everybody's in your face. Get out of my office, right? Your coworker reaches your office and asks, "Can you do me a favor?" Record scratch, glass breaking. So there I was. You glare at him, brow furrowed and teeth gritted, and snarl, "I don't have time for you right now. Can't you see I'm busy?" Your coworker, speechless, with eyes wide, slowly backs out of your office. He manages to mutter, "Gosh, I'm sorry," before doing an about face and departing. You watch him walk away and instantly feel guilty. TBH, full disclosure, I have been on both sides of that interaction. Neither one of them are fun. I will say it's worse to be barked at than to do the barking, but to have something exit your mouth that fast before you even realize the stank that your nervous system was going to put on it because you're fucking swamped and you see the hurt that you caused someone, that fucking sucks. But like me working up the courage to go to my manager or to go to a coworker when I finally decide to ask for help with something, right? And then they do that to me, they bark at me, you know, not intentionally, but like they still did it. It makes me not want to ask anyone for anything ever again. Both sides of that fucking sucks. Let's see. In this scenario, you've managed to say no. You've successfully rebuffed your coworker's request for help, but the manner in which you've done so has likely caused hurt feelings, resentment, and other negative emotions that will haunt you later and have been and will continue to do so. Anyone else's brain, when is left unattended for too long or in silence, will start thinking of all of your most embarrassing, awkward snafus and faux pas of your life. And when that happens to me, I have to physically say a word or make a noise to snap myself out of it. My main one is involuntarily I'll just go, "Yep." Like, sometimes I do that. Like the first couple of times I did that around Pidge and he thought I was talking to him or something. He'd be like, "Huh?" I'd be like, "Oh, I mean, yep." You know, I would try to like brush it off, but now fully I'm just like, yeah, I was just clearing it up. Or I'll go, like, I'll do like a stem noise or something to clear that cloud, because fuck that shit.
Shut that part of your brain.
Shut it up. Shut it down. All right. I'm ashamed to say this scenario comes from my own life. Many times back when I was a people pleaser, I would become overwhelmed and lose my cool. I'd blow up, taking out my frustration on whoever was unlucky enough to catch me at a bad time, and I would always regret it. That single fucking paragraph helped me realize why so many people around me, including my own family, thought that I had anger problems. Just because of the amount of, like, overwhelmed and overloaded and hovering at like an 8 out of 10 on the scale my whole life. I snapped at people a lot before I could even realize that I was doing that. And the guilt that I would feel, it was just immense. And then that turned into me being like, I'm sorry, I'm just an angry piece of shit. Like, totally just blaming myself. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I have a problem. Like, not even understanding why I was doing it. So, like, when I was in my previous relationship that was verbally, physically, emotionally, and psychologically abusive, I was existing at like a 9.8 out of 10 on the scale at all times. So when I was misdiagnosed with borderline personality disorder, I thought that explained why I would just fucking snap at people, not realizing what was actually causing that. I feel like I've spoken with so many late discovered, late identified, and late diagnosed autistic people who have been previously diagnosed with BPD and still have BPD along with their autism, but have also been misdiagnosed with it. In my case, I was misdiagnosed because those, symptoms, traits, habits existed the heaviest and the most within that time frame where I was being, abused on the daily, and then it went away. Once the problem fucking went away, like the dust started to settle, I started to come out of fight or flight, and I was able to figure out that it was a misdiagnosis. But I'm thinking about all the people who are misdiagnosed with that first and never learned that they're autistic. And BPD in and of itself is so incredibly stigmatized and misunderstood and talked about all wrong and addressed all wrong. And that is one diagnosis that is given out. I feel like in the case of some autistic people in some instances, like particularly like femme presenting, like women, non-binary, queer people, black and brown people, misproportionately misdiagnosed with that thing as just this has to be it. See ya. But learning about my autism helped me to find the root of why I would snap. And I'm like this is like stream of consciousness. I'm just making like all these realizations. So just fucking go with it. Once I came out of that fight or flight mode all the time and I was not in survival mode anymore because of my surroundings, that didn't happen as much. I wouldn't have those like snappy moments. And then learning about my autism, learning about sensory overload and sensory processing issues. Because I used to get frustrated on phone calls a lot. Now I know why. And now, I hate talking on the phone. I used to do it all the time growing up, but I would get frustrated if I couldn't hear someone. Because sometimes it literally sounds like they're speaking in Simlish. And I'm like, huh? Like 2 or 3 times and I still don't get it. And then I get frustrated and that comes out in my voice and I'm like, what? What are you saying right now?
I'm not even immune to it.
And they're like, I'm sorry. It's one of those things. But learning the language has helped me to realize when I'm becoming overwhelmed and overloaded. I'm more attuned to that. And it's helped a whole lot. Whew. Let's see. The art of saying no will show you a better way than the scenario that we just talked about, him blowing up at his coworker. By the time you finish reading this book, you'll have all the tools you'll need to say no with grace and tact, and importantly, without guilt. This is literally just like 7 pages of, this is what you'll learn in this part of the book. This is what you'll learn in that part of the book. So I don't know. I don't think I'll cover that here. But we're going to keep going with this book, like, in a future stream. Like, that's the end of part 1. I don't know how many parts there are. At least 4. I actually think there are 4 parts. And we just finished fucking part 1, y'all. Holy shit. That was a short one. Let's see. I'm going to read. These are literally 4 pages, beginning of part 2. I'm not going to stop here. I'll read these 4 and then we can be done, maybe. Unless it ends on a cliffhanger. It's because I'm having fun and this is a fun little stream and I love talking about this stuff with y'all. What was that colossal apocalyptic boom upstairs that just happened? Is that a Mazda? Look at his Pete.
He was playing with that picture of the rose.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, what is that noise that I'm hearing? I was like, well, let me go make sure he's not doing something stupid.
You've got such a cold nose. Oh my goodness. What a stinky boy.
Alright.
Gulp, 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 gulp. Gulp, 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 gulp. Gulp, 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 gulp. I did the hydrate blurb with my voice. All right, let's crank out these last little pages here. Part 2, reasons we struggle to say no. It's one of the smallest words in the English language, yet many of us believe it carries such awesome power that we're afraid to say it. In those instances when we do manage to say no, we instinctively downplay our intentions, offering excuses and apologies to the requester. Yep. Why does this tiny word carry such gravity, and why are we so hesitant to utter it? This section will highlight and explain the most common reasons we have difficulty telling others no. You'll no doubt recognize a few of them in your own life. As you'll see in the following pages, I have personal experience with nearly all of them. Most of us were raised to believe that saying no is rude and egocentric. This belief becomes a significant part of our value system. Holy shit. Mix that in with Old Testament Christianity and you've got a mess. Just thinking about my own raising in Southern Appalachia in the 90s and aughts. Woof. So we spend our childhoods and most of our adult lives trying to live in a way that reflects an image we consider more honorable. Bombastic Bumpers! Thank you so much for the follow. Hello! Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Yeah. Everyone gets their own little special song tonight, and that was yours. You have the same cat tree? That's so funny! Does your cat / do your cats actually use it? Because we have 3 cats, inside cats, and they all use it in varying degrees. But thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad you're here. We're just starting part 2 of this lovely, lovely book. For those of you who don't know also, I upload all of my streams to YouTube now. I have like 3 or 4 on there right now already from the last couple of weeks. This one will go up either tomorrow or Monday. I try to be quick about it. And there's no edits. I just cut out the beginning, like the starting soon, and I cut out the BRBs. So this will all be up. So you didn't miss much. She climbs all the way to the top and sleeps there all fucking day. I love that. I love that. I am Miss Frizzle / Pepper, and today you're getting Miss Frizzle from Wish. You're getting Pepper Ann from eBay. Okay. Whew. Okay. The result of this, like living, like saying yes all the time because you want to be seen as respectable and you want to be seen as honorable, and you're taught that no is like, no, you're not allowed to say no. Only I'm allowed to say no to you. Because I'm the adult, you're the child. I'm old, you're... What did Danny DeVito say in Matilda? He's like, I'm big, you're small. I'm smart, you're dumb. And there's nothing you can do about it. This book is how to stand... I'll just read the cover and then I'll summarize a little. How to stand your ground, reclaim your time and energy, and refuse to be taken for granted without feeling guilty. So far, this is like covering like people-pleasing tendencies and why we put ourselves last and how that shows up in our life and why it shows up in our life. But hopefully we'll get some answers on how to shut down the creeps, because watch the VOD. We had a creepy experience 2 nights ago with a distant neighbor who wandered onto our property to look at the fire pit in our backyard and pecked on our back window right here to talk to us. Breath. The window was open, blowing his breath into our home, and I said, eh. So me shutting the window in that dude's face was my version of no. And it felt fucking awesome. Okay, the result of this. We end up saying yes to everyone around us, even as we become increasingly frustrated, embittered, and resentful. You're about to learn the unhealthy reasons you dread saying no. Recognizing them, some are less obvious than others, is the first step toward freeing yourself from the fallacious belief that saying no is mean, cold-hearted, or selfish. Let's get started, ... We want to avoid offending people. People often take offense at things that aren't intended to give offense. My existence on Twitter. An example is hearing the word no after they ask for someone's help. You can probably recall instances when this has happened to you. Someone asks you for your time, attention, or money, and you respectfully decline the request, and the individual's reaction is immediate. and openly displayed on their face a furrowed brow, a deep frown, and tight lips betray hurt. I think they meant portray here. Hurt feelings and indignation. The individual takes offense. They may even utter, "That's rude." Understandably, this causes you to feel pangs of guilt. Come on, guilt trip. As you watch the requester walk away, the displeasure evident in their body language, you can't help but feel as if you have done something wrong by saying the word no. But let's logically unpack this scenario. First, it's important to understand how this type of offense surfaces. It has nothing to do with moral outrage, the acrimony we tend to associate with taking offense, nor is it a reaction to a perceived wrongdoing or act of villainy. Rather, when offense is taken in these circumstances, it usually stems from the requester's insecurities. Ooh, plot twist. They internalize the word no as a personal rejection. It stings, which prompts the reaction. That was way too loud, and I'm sorry. I need to lower that volume. That was a big oof. But, yeah. In that scenario, we literally just talked about this. Rejection, ouch. But in this scenario, I wouldn't, especially when I was like in my people-pleasing heyday, I would not dare to put my discomfort of being told no on that person by being like, "That's fucking rude. Don't you mean yes? You misspelled yes." I would say, "Oh no, that's okay. Like, I'm sorry for asking. Tee-hee, sorry to bother you with my existence. I'll go now." Fucking implodes. Holy shit. It took me years to come to this realization. When it finally dawned on me, everything changed. I realized that as long as I was respectful to the individual asking for my help, I was not responsible for any offense taken when I said no. Boom! Boom. This was a liberating feeling. It freed me from my fears of turning down requests. A big formative step in my undoing 3 decades of people pleasing was putting down everyone else's shit that I was expected to carry for decades. My needs do not matter. My voice did not matter. What I wanted to do or not do did not matter. And when I told someone no, I was punished for telling them no by way of guilt, by way of threats, by way of belligerence, by way of snarkiness or what have you. And I was made to correct that situation by just changing it to a yes. But once I realized that I'm not responsible for any of that shit. You're not responsible for how someone reacts to you voicing a boundary of yours. Like, I had to learn that boundaries are not for other people. Boundaries are for yourself. They're what you are willing to do, not willing to do, willing to accept, and not willing to accept. And when you set boundaries that, like, you draw that line in the sand where you will not accept this kind of treatment from a person, it can seem like you're creating a boundary for that person. Like, you are not going to treat me this way. That in my fucked up people-pleasing mind, that meant that I was now responsible for fixing them. You know? Instead of just saying, you know what? The boundary is for me. I don't have to put up with this shit. And I had to, like, reframe how I thought about my boundaries. My boundaries are for me. They're what I am willing or not willing to accept or do. How other people react to my boundaries is not my problem. How people react to your boundaries is not your problem. If they make it feel like your problem, it's hard. It's hard to be this, and to try to be this like infallible, impenetrable, like, no, I will not be swayed. No, you will not guilt me. It will just bounce off of me. You won't affect me at all with that. That's fucking unrealistic as fuck. But like, it's like a muscle. Like, I've had to work it like a muscle. Like, I had to start with like lifting like balloon animals. Like SpongeBob, right? Like, I'm sorry. No, I can't do it. Ugh. And it got a little easier over time, you know? A little easier, a little easier, a little easier. Anomalous Dusk, yes. Understanding that aspect of boundaries was a life changer. Man, it really is. That it changed how I viewed like my own self as well. Learning that my boundaries were for me led me to actually listening to my mind as far as, do I even want to fucking do this? Do I even want to go to this place if it makes me want to throw up or gives me the dribbly runs or I have a headache for 3 days after? Like, it forced me to come to terms with what I was putting myself through and what I was enduring that was unnecessary and not required for my existence anymore. And I learned how to put all that shit down slowly. And it's not perfect, obviously, but it's kind of the best it's ever been as far as the consistency of it. Kelsey on, yes! Enjoy your pad thai-ish. Your pad thai-ish dish. Yeah, man. Next time we order from that restaurant, I'm getting that exact thing. And I'm going to eat even more next time.
I'll try something different,
yeah. Okay. Nope. All right. Think about someone in your life who takes offense upon hearing the word no. Hello, Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents by Lindsay C. Gibson, PsyD, the book that we cover on this stream all the time. Essentially, the ground zero of fucking everything, every part of this. That environment being so formative, especially when it's severe in like any sort of abuse or neglect or guilt or lack of agency when you're a kid, you know? I'm sorry, JK. I'm just reading what's clearly in front of me.
Damn.
We're going to read out of that book again soon. I know. Listen, I'm preparing my spoons as much as y'all are, okay? Because that book sometimes makes me physically nauseous. Sometimes it makes me cry, okay? And, you know. We want to avoid disappointing people. If you're like me, you hate disappointing people. You cringe when you see a look of sadness following your words or actions. You shudder at the possibility that you have. I'm short-circuiting. You shudder at the possibility that you may have been the cause. She did it. I made it through that sentence. Thank you. Seeing that look can make you feel as if you've let others down. It's more than just an intellectual realization. You can feel it in your gut. Yes, it's a physical fucking sensation. Oof. This guilt is unwarranted. Potatum ages 0 through 28. Haha. This guilt is unwarranted. You are not responsible for causing others disappointment when you say no to them. What we literally just fucking said. To fully appreciate this fact, it is important to understand how disappointment occurs. Disappointment springs from unmet expectations. Wow, I'm having a brain moment right now. Total brain moment, TM symbol. Recall times in your life when you have experienced this emotion, disappointment. The trigger was undoubtedly something that failed to meet your presumed outcome. Yeah. Yep, pretty much 100%. Yep. Just Rolodex.
Keep rolling through it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So life in general being said, being gestures to world vaguely. In a nutshell, yes. In a bean pod, yes. For example, you might have visited a restaurant after reading rave reviews only to find that you disliked the food and ambiance. Neither met your expectations and you were thus disappointed. Listen. My autistic ass. I wish it was just bummed. I wish I was just like, man, fuck. Darn. I treat it like a trust fall, you know? Me ordering the same thing every day for a month only to get tired of it once the dopamine stops dopamining and then I don't eat it again for about a year, repeat ad nauseum until death. If I try to venture away from that and try something new, well, right now I'm riding on a high with that fucking pad thai unintentional bars because it was gorgeous and perfect and the taste was just immaculate and it was beautiful. I've never had pad thai in my life. It was takeaway pad thai. It traveled all the way across town in a sweating styrofoam box. And it just so greatly exceeded my expectations. So now I'm going to have high fucking hopes next time I want to try something new, wherever that might be. And when I have to eat to keep this stupid meat suit alive or whatever, and the food that I want to try that's new, that's normally not in my little safe food box, and it sucks, but it's either eat that or eat nothing. Bruh, mamma mia. Oh, Jesus, gross. Oh man, it throws me all out of fucking whack, dude. It throws me all out of whack. And I feel like a scorned lover. I was like, I trusted you. Not only did I trust you, but I read the Google reviews. I read the Facebook reviews. Back when I had Facebook, I no longer have it. I read the Yelp reviews. I listen to friends' testimonials. And then you give me this? Bubkus. Fuck, man. Gives me trust issues. For real, for real. Okay. Another example. Perhaps you expected your child to receive straight A's on their report card and were surprised to find B's and C's. You were likely disappointed. I really wish that my parents would have been just disappointed. That
would have been nice.
It would have been nice if they were encouraging and validating instead of, you know. Or let's say you're expecting a promotion at work. When you're passed over for the promotion, you feel let down. Why? Because your expectations were unrealized. Oh, bad luck, JK. That happened to you twice. Ugh, that's a horrible feeling to be disappointed in a new restaurant. Living up to your screen name with the bad luck that happens whenever that happens to you. Oh my God, just disappointed would have been a win. Whiskey, yup, felt. Bean, my parents didn't care what grades I got. They weren't interested. Oh. I'm sorry. Buttspot even has parent problems. My parents but care what grab-butts I got. They weren't interested. Why are you grabbing people's butts? Please. You don't even have hands. What are we doing? All right. Now, consider how this plays out when you say no to someone. Suppose a coworker asks for your help, but you're already overwhelmed by your own responsibilities, so you rebuff the request. Your coworker becomes visibly disappointed by your refusal to help. But is his or her disappointment truly your fault? Or did your coworker approach you with unrealistic and sometimes even unfair expectations regarding your ability and willingness to offer help? Yeah, yep. Sometimes it was literally just like a little thing that they needed help with, but sometimes it was like fully like, can you do my work for me too? Completely and entirely. Oh man. Used to work at this fucking pizza joint. And I was like one of the only staff members of front of house that didn't smoke cigarettes or take smoke breaks. This job is the reason why I started taking non-smoker smoke breaks. Because this one coworker I had would go out to smoke every 45 fucking minutes. During dinner rush. And I had to bust their tables. But they were making the tips, but I was doing the work and running their food. El Ninja de Camelot, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Yeah. These songs are getting worse as the night continues. At any rate, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that. Huh. Here's 5p to get some Mackies. Oh, that's funny. Quid. Is quid like $1?
Yeah.
Nice.
P is like pence, it's like pennies. My bad.
Sorry, I don't know English money. I only know American money. Okay. Your coworker, okay. Yay, Ninja! Thank you so much. Lo siento, mi español es no bueno. Un poquito, pero lo siento. Does anyone here speak Spanish who can maybe continue this convo? Because I'm not sure what Ninja is asking. I want to make sure that they get their question answered. So if anyone can pop in and help, would be much appreciated. Okie dokie. Okay, yeah. Talking about. Oh, they asked what the stream's about. We are reading this book, The Art of Saying No. And I'm so sorry that I only took a couple of years in Spanish, and it has long left my brain. And I wish I knew more. I wish I'd retained more. But my VODs do live on YouTube as well. Maybe I'm not sure if they have like some sort of translate tool or something. I'm going to look into that though for future streams, because I don't want this to be a problem. I want anyone who watches this to be able to watch it, you know? Okay, let's see. I keep losing my place because all the words start fucking blending together. Okay, did your coworker approach you with unrealistic or unfair expectations? The latter scenario is almost certainly the case unless you had previously promised to help your coworker. Really? That seems a little cynical to me. But maybe I'm just so used to giving everyone 1,000,000% the benefit of the doubt as a people pleaser, like, oh, like giving people excuses for me taking on 5 times my workload, you know? That being true, you cannot be held responsible for their disappointment. That is true. When you acknowledge this fact, you'll find it easier to let go of your fear of disappointing people when you say no to them. You'll come to appreciate that their disappointment is neither your fault nor responsibility. This perspective will give you the courage to stop accommodating every request and invitation that comes your way. Yes. The people who got the most upset at me whenever I started developing and enacting boundaries for myself as my adult self, the people who got the most upset were usually the ones who benefited the most from my lack of boundaries. I was always a card in their back pocket that they could play because they knew that with very few exceptions, like illness, you know, I would be at their beck and call as a people pleaser. Because my needs did not matter, even to me, for decades. Oh! Haha! Ninja, you are good. You are good. I apologize. I must have misread. That's so funny. Well, I'm glad that you understand me. But I still am going to look into that translating service for my VODs, you know, because I do want anyone who wants to watch to be able to watch. Sorry for misunderstanding you, friend. At any rate, I'm glad you're here. But yeah, like, enacting boundaries with those people for the first time, the ones who are disappointed the most. Oh my fucking God. The first few times it felt like skydiving without a parachute. Just terrifying, dude. Terrifying beyond belief. But I also was able to practice saying no if I was unable or unavailable or just didn't want to do something with people who actually loved me for me and didn't have any undue expectations of me, and that was always received well. Beep boop boop bop. Beep boop boop beep bop bop. Beep boop boop beep bop boop bop. Beep boop boop beep boop bop. That was always received well from the people in my life who didn't benefit from my lack of boundaries, who was genuinely just asking me a question about whatever have you. So, if this is something that you, as like a recovering people pleaser or a recovering codependent person or a late identified autistic person who is learning to voice your needs for the first time, it's scary as fuck, but it's worth it for so many reasons. But it is not something that happens quickly. And for me, the first step in it was putting down other people's bullshit. Before I even did anything, I had to remove myself, my self-worth, my value, my, what did it say? Honor, wanting to appear honorable or respectable by never saying no. I had to put all of that down. I had to learn how to become okay with occasionally bumming people out with a boundary of mine. I don't expect every person to always take everything, every boundary that I enact perfectly. I also don't expect every person to go nuclear when I enact a boundary. It's always somewhere in the middle, for the most part. There are exceptions. But it's so hard. And I still don't know how to put into words how I was able to start doing it. I feel like a lot of this shit was forced upon me with my late discovered neurodivergence. Once those bells started ringing that couldn't be unrung, I had to stare it in the face and start deciphering it, start decoding it, start processing my life with this new knowledge. And that forced me to redirect my path, to begin accommodating for my own needs for the first time. And that involved me learning how to say no. Like, no, the letters N-O is a complete sentence. But I save that 2-letter response for like strangers who are just coming at me sideways or being jerks. Especially in public, you know? If someone is trying to accost you or something and they won't leave you alone, just literally, no. You don't owe them anything else. But when I'm talking to like my friends or family or loved ones, I'm getting better at not being so over-apologetic, and I'm getting better at not over-explaining. I'm also getting better at full disclosure. Hey, listen, when you don't say no ever for decades, that means in those few times you were able to squeeze yourself out of whatever you were trying to get out of, you had to get creative with excuses. Okay? Full disclosure. couple streams ago, maybe even the last one, I said, I get it. To some people on paper, I kind of look like a shitbag. I get that. I have accepted that fact. But under that same umbrella is me coming up with untrue reasons why I can't do something. Because saying no is it was not an option for me. Pickle, this is a great mindset. You can't control how people feel, and it's not your burden in cases like this. Exactly. Of course, if that's all we know as kids, if that's all that's modeled to us, if it's literally, in some of our cases, beaten into us and corporally reinforced in us, then manually overriding that is fucking hard. But the burden of other people's reactions to your boundaries is truly not your burden. And the people who try to make it your problem are the ones who are the most, like, unsure of themselves and have the most shit to figure out with their own selves. Like, they don't even realize the full extent of why they're doing something. I'd like to give the people the benefit of the doubt with that. Like, if someone tries to make me feel bad for saying no, I don't think that they're evil or whatever. I just think that they have a different understanding of what boundaries means, of what no means. I'm talking like innocuous examples. I'm not talking about like more severe examples of where no is like needed and required, right? But yeah, man, this shit is just so complicated by our lives, by our traumas, by our neurotypes, by our disabilities, by capitalism, by systemic oppression. Like, all of it's fucking connected, people. And all of these books that we cover on this stream, and all of the articles that we read, and all the shit that we talk about, it is all connected to itself. And I'm so glad that we started this tonight, because I've been needing like a refresher, a reminder that I'm not a piece of shit for saying no. It's a groove that's been grooved upon for decades at this point, and sometimes I need a reminder. You know, we are definitely going to keep reading this book. It's been added into the rotation. So now we've got this one. We've got Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. We've got our shadow work. Whiskey, I apologize. I have not been to the post office yet. I'm still gathering spoons to make that trip because it is usually pretty hellish. But I promise you, I will send you an art print or two and a magnet as well, and your book that you rightfully won on this channel, my friend. And I appreciate your patience. Post office sucks, period. And I wish I could just send the shit from my house. I really do. So we're gonna put a pin in this one until the next time we pick it up on a future stream. And yeah, y'all, this is pretty much it.
Stamps.com.
Stamps.com. I wish. Maybe one day. The struggle is very real. I feel you on that. I'm lucky I have a UPS store that takes no contact drop-offs. What's that like? Couldn't be my town.
Whiskey does live in LA.
Whiskey does live in LA, that's right.
Living in the future.
Yeah. West Coast be on some shit that Appalachia is very not. Not even close. Mayonnaise 2077. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow.
Beans, what the fuck?
Beans, what the fuck? Oh. I'm just reading the chat here, catching up, flipping through. Oh boy. Thank you, Diagnosed Babe. Mayo spitting some bars here. If no is no, then no can be on. Because of the angles split into curves, then would linear be aligned with the non-linear beings? Imagine a fourth dimensional being, tendrils and all, slithering, hissing, frothing, conjuring itself with the ebb and flow of time, but it is timeless. Damn, dude. I'm not high enough for that. That your brain, that's a different wavelength, but hey, that is valid nonetheless. Very vivid imagery as well. No is a complete fucking sentence, y'all. It is. But it's okay to say, I'm sorry, but I can't do this time. Like, if you feel the need to cushion the blow, I definitely had to start with, I'm sorry, but I can't. Like, it didn't go from me being people-pleasing to my detriment to me going, no, period. It was a lot of coaxing it out of me, a lot of cushioning, a lot of softening of the language, a lot of excuses. Yeah. A lot of pet goldfish that I didn't have. A lot of relatives that I didn't have. Oh, they're just in from town and I gotta hang out with them. They're here from Ireland or whatever. I don't know. I've made up a lot of shitty excuses in my life to get out of things because no was not an option for me for so long. But now that it is, it truly creates a ripple effect because now I don't have to make shit up. Right? Like now I don't have to pull stuff out of the sky. I can just say no. And I can be at peace with that. Except when my RSD is rearing its fickle head. You know. But I want everyone in this community to realize that you do have agency, that you have rights as a human being, that you have needs that deserve to be honored, that you have boundaries that deserve to be voiced. Oh yeah, JK, yes. Man, fuck a job. Fuck your boss. Listen, usually with restaurant jobs, if I was actually like not able to go to work, or even if I felt like playing hooky sometimes, hey, nobody's perfect. I'd be like, I am vomiting ghosts and demons. I'm not gonna be able to come in today. They're like, okay, say less. Or like, you know, I used to play I'm sorry, I'm having a really heavy period right now. Would you like me to give gruesome detail about that? They're like, no, you're good. Just go home. You know, I've had to be slick and creative because no was not in my vocabulary until it was. And now it is, bitch. And the answer is no. Heart emoji. We say that all the time. Diagnosed babe.
Oh, Jesus. Gross.
Realizing I don't have to give an entire thought-up reason that people usually see as an excuse when I say no has been a life changer. Yes. Not to say I never people please anymore, of course, but it's been so helpful in my life. Yes. It is so, yeah. If for no other reason, to just take the undue bullshit burden off of your shoulders so that you can walk around and exist a little more peacefully, you know? I mean, Jesus. Holy shit, y'all. This has been a fantastic stream. Full disclosure, a stream that I thought about canceling tonight because I couldn't think of what to do. My brain was not braining. I just was not, you know, in the space. And then I ate some Chipotle and then I felt better. And then we had a 6-level hype train tonight, y'all. What the fuck? That was unbelievable. And that was my first hype train ever. And I'm still geeked about it. It lasted for like 20 fucking minutes. I love y'all so much. Lurkers, listeners now and later. Here or on YouTube. I'm also trying to figure out how to multi-stream on TikTok at the same time, because most of my following exists on that app, but it's an act of fucking Congress to try to get it put together, and I don't have the spoons. But I'm trying to multi-stream. I might also multi-stream onto YouTube since my VODs live there. I just want as many people who want to watch this. I've had friends like message me and be like, I don't know what Twitch is, but if you're on YouTube, I'll watch you there. So like, you know, people watch live streams on YouTube all the time. Like, I'm trying to make it as accessible as I possibly can. And I never want to pressure y'all into supporting me or giving me your money, anything like that whatsoever. But I always appreciate any and all generosity that y'all show. And I love this community. Thank y'all so much for being here. And I'll be back on Wednesday with something or other. Maybe that article will be out that I got statemented in, hopefully. Whenever that article does come out, the subsequent stream will be about that. About being child-free by choice, my reasons behind it, how it ties into my late discovered neurodivergence, how it ties into, you know, just because you have the capacity to give birth doesn't mean that it's your mandated duty to give birth, you know? No is a complete sentence. And we'll be back on Wednesday to talk about some more fun stuff. I love y'all so much. I hope you have a beautiful time zone wherever thou may art. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Beep boop boop bop. Beep boop boop beep bop bop. Beep boop boop beep bop boop bop. Beep boop boop beep boop bop.
The giant horse conch weighs over 11 pounds.
Bye.